I tell you what, mate, for the next week, I think it was 5-6 days, I could not fucking walk. Sitting down was emotional. Going down the stairs was it was like I'm running a marathon. It took me about half an hour to get up, downstairs. It wasn't very pleasant. That's what I'm saying. What's been our experience of it, Tom? What would you say? What's been your experience of doing German volume training?
Oh, God, I was hoping you wouldn't ask me this because, God, I'm embarrassed now. So funny enough, Bill, you know how you mentioned like how they still teach it as like an advanced training system? When I graduated as a PT and I thought I was shit hot, I actually put some of my beginner clients onto GVT.
You barbarian.
And wondered why they weren't coming back to me.
Yeah, because they probably couldn't fucking walk.
Or why they were having to cancel sessions. And to be honest with you, I've also done it myself in the past. And same kind of thing. Like I've got to like maybe set 6 and it's like I'm either now rep shaving, I'm cutting off reps because I can't do it, I'm too fatigued, or I've had to lower the weight. So actually, what's the point? Because I've started off on like a decent weight here, but I've had to cut off the weight in the first place.
Well, mate, if you look at like the new charts now for like German volume training on like the level 3 or something, for example, they don't expect you to finish it now. They've even got to the point where they even know that people don't finish. It's like, well, what's the fucking point? Like, the idea is that you're supposed to. Most people won't finish 10 by 10 at the full weight or the full reps. They'll start lower, and then over the weeks they're supposed to add more on. Is basically what's supposed to happen.
From that viewpoint, it's like they almost expect you to just do RP10 as a default. Yeah,
you're going to failure. That is literally if you're having to drop reps off because you're basically going to failure each round basically, and then lowering after each one. Which
isn't necessarily useless, but if it's like, that's going to be your training every week now,
it's not.
German volume training, you're pretty much saying, okay, we expect you to be failing every session.
Not a beginner.
Which, from my viewpoint, from anyone, to be honest with you, it's absolutely, I think it's very useful to go to failure sometimes, but not every session where you're actually trying to recover. Well, I have clients purposely go to failure sometimes, but it's context dependent. It's not something where it's like, as a default, your standard training session is just going to failure all the time. I wouldn't have that.
I need to put it into context, because I said it's everyone, not even just beginners. Like, I've done it before where, I can't remember when it was a good few years ago now, because obviously I've ascended to higher planes of intelligence now, clearly. But I was doing a front squat GVT session, and at this point I was trained right. I wasn't like a beginner, but I tell you what, mate, for the next week, I think it was 5-6 days, I could not fucking walk. Sitting down was emotional. Going down the stairs was it was like I'm running a marathon. It took me about half an hour to get up, downstairs. It wasn't very pleasant. That's what I'm saying.
I mean, a back squat would be bad enough doing German volume training, but a front squat where you're loading yourself like...
Oh, my quads, mate.
With bar in front of you. Sod that.
Mate, I was in so much pain.
I would imagine that if you would have sneezed, you would have exploded.
I can't remember what the percentage was. I'm sure the percentage was something outrageous, so I think it was like 70%.
That's another point actually we should have brought up. But in regards to the intensity of what weight do I put on for German volume training, it is it's considered to be a low load, so it's like roughly around 60%.
Yeah, 60 starting,
70% is a lot, mate.
Yeah, it was a lot, yeah.
That's a lot. In fact, I remember one of the reasons why Athene X actually got... criticised a long time ago, one of these training programs had high volume in it, and it was expected to be at 80% intensity.
I saw that.
You would fucking die if you did that.
Yeah, I read the forums about that. I'm sure it was 10 by 10. I'm sure it was German volume training.
Was it 10 by 10? I didn't want to say it in case I was wrong, but I know that it was high volume.
Yeah, I remember reading.
But it would not surprise me at all.
There was a forum about it, and people were just like, "Is this guy a fucking maniac? Like, who's doing that?"
But do you know what? Like, I just want to confirm, like. It's kind of going back to what I said earlier, and that is we're talking about this being all for the same exercise. So actually, I don't think there's anything inherently bad about doing 10 sets on just the chest. Doing like 10 sets of a push movement or lower body movement, or 10 sets of doing some form of pull movement, like a back exercise. But that's if the exercises were broken up. So, okay, you're doing 10 sets for the muscle group, but you're breaking down to different exercises and loading the body in different ways. So I could go and do like 5 sets of bench press, but then I might go and do 3 sets of, I don't know. I might go and do 3 sets of pec flies, and I might go do an extra 2 sets of, I don't know, front raises for whatever reason. Not an exercise I really like, but So I'm working very similar muscle groups here, or same muscle groups, or linked muscle groups. I'm still doing my 10 sets, but they're broken down to separate exercises. And you get people that do chest days anyway. They go on to like flat bench, then do incline, and then go and do some isolation work. I think that's okay.
I think it's right, yeah, as long as you're not kicking the arse out of it.
But when it's the same exercise and you're loading yourself in that exact same position for so long, fatigue sets in rapid.
So just sort of go over what you just said there, Tom. I actually had data. I was just literally looking while you were talking there. Was about I did a video called "Are You Training Hard Enough?" on the Train Prime YouTube, and when I was looking at the data on that, it was basically suggested that 10 plus sets per muscle group per week is a good amount of volume there, kind of overall for most based on the data, which kind of says what you said there. But the difference is, if you saw that 10 per week and you thought, oh, let's do all 10, GVT, it's like, well, no, as you said, it's about splitting it up. You wouldn't do, you could split that up into different, you could do 4 sets of that, 4 sets of that, or three, whatever, it's different, same muscle group, but different movements, essentially.
Exactly that, mate, because then you get to take stress off certain parts, doing that specific movement. Instead, you get to load it a different way. And I might be jumping the gun here as well, but, okay, you might want to do your 10 sets throughout the week. If you're a beginner, you might want to spread your 10 sets throughout the week instead. So if you train twice a week, you might do 5 sets of bench press on day 8.
Classic.
Oh, God, the old Mark Ripperton. I used to do that as well. And then I might go and do another 5 sets a couple of days later, day B.
I think a point that we haven't mentioned, Tom, as well, is the rest times of GVT is significantly less than
oh my God.
60 seconds.
That's another thing.
You get a minute's rest. It's outrageous.
So let's go back to the beginning here. That's on my VHS rewinding sound effect. But 10 sets of 10 reps at 60% intensity usually for 60 seconds rest. That is fucking nuts.
That's ridiculous.
And now that I've remembered the rest periods, I'm now imagining you doing your front squats, and I'm appalled.
The fuck, mate. Honestly, it was.
I'm gassed thinking about it.
I literally had no idea what I was doing. I'm sure I don't know what I was following, what program I was following at that time, but.
I think I did it on bench press, and I think I actually ended up getting stapled by the bar.
See, I did it once.
This was when I was in my home gym, so I had no spotter.
Mate, when I first started getting into CrossFit, I remember it was I did a session. It was like a strength session, but it was ridiculous. It was we did GVT, but it was with bench and cable row. Fuck me, God, that was emotional. I've done it as
big
well.
Old juicy movements.
I've done it with pull-ups and dips.
Ooh.
God, fucking.
But that was fun though.
It's a good combo. It's a really good combo. That, but 10 by 10, mate. It's like, geez, it's hard work.
Pull-ups and dips is a favourite superset of mine. But not for 10 times 10.
With a minute rest in between.
With a minute rest, yeah. Oh God, no.
I definitely had to scale.
Not my cup of tea.
Definitely had to scale that. That was hard work. Anyway, so anecdotes aside, with GVT, the question really is actually worth doing. We've kind of hinted already that it's potentially not, but we do have a paper here to sort of add to our points, and that is the effects of a modified German volume training program on muscular hypertrophy and strength. So this study compared 10 sets of 10 versus 5 sets of 10 for 6 weeks. And the points to really take away from this study is that muscle thickness changes were not different between groups. The 5-set group actually had a greater increase in strength than the 10-set group. And then some changes in body composition did seem to favour the 5-set group as well. So basically, overall in this paper, the 5-set group seems to be more superior to 10.
Once again, comes down to that Goldilocks effect. And the thing is like... we talk about allostatic load, which I think we've mentioned before, but like at the end of the day, we get stronger and we build muscle when we recover. So obviously the training is what creates the stimulus, but it's the recovery where the changes actually happen. But the problem is it's about finding that balance. We want to be able to recover more than the actual fatigue we accumulate through training. So if we accumulate the right fatigue, we can recover over that. But if we're constantly getting that level of fatigue well over our recovery, well, one, it's just harder to get stronger and grow muscle from, but also it could affect the rest of our training throughout the week. And I think we've all had that, haven't we, where we've gone balls to the wall, or we've had some other form of like external stress. We've gone to the gym and we've just not felt it, or things have just felt like shit, or we've not lifted the amount we used to lift or the reps. So it's about finding that balance where we don't let the fatigue. We don't accumulate too much fatigue compared to our recovery levels. Rebalance that allostatic load and let things just simmer down.
An ice cream van.
The ice cream van. Was that the ice cream
I think
van?
that was, mate. Does that come from me?
Good. Wait, that's your fault, Spill. That was you. That weren't me.
Fucking ice cream van.
That was definitely you.
Fucking, I didn't try to podcast.
The ice cream
here.
van's not been round here since that shooting.
Since that what? What do you mean that shit? What are you on about now? Oh fuck! You didn't shit those Jehovah's Witnesses, did you?
Nah, not this time. No.
Not this time.
That was definitely you, though.
Yeah, that was definitely me. Ice cream bag cut down there.
Yeah, it could be you. Your other imaginary friend has his own theme tune.
I need to get a sign outside, mate. Podcasting in session.
God.
Keep the fucking noise down. Jeez.
Or at least been a Solero to the window.
Yeah, fuck me, I could do one actually. It's boiling. Anyway, where was I? Right. we'll move on. Ice creams aside. Put the Solero in the back pocket. So that paper.
Stick first, not ice cream first.
What?
If you put it in your back pocket.
Stick first. Yeah.
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 Just to clarify. We're evidence-based podcast.
Evidence-based.
Yeah.
Yeah.